Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Julie Suter, Public Affairs Coordinator for Summit County, and for this segment we're going to be talking about National Radon Awareness Month. And joining me from Summit County Environmental Health is Maya Kulik. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you, Julie.
So Maya, let's start off by talking about what the heck is radon in the first place and why we should be aware of it.
Sure. So some people probably don't know about radon. It is a naturally occurring gas that is formed in the soil through uranium decay. It is formed because of all of the rock features from igneous and things like shale and granite, uranium ore, all these types of things that are just naturally in our soil. They decay and become radium and then radon. That radon is naturally occurring. It is outdoors, it's indoors. It is odorless, tasteless, colorless. There's no way you can detect it just by being in a space. You wouldn't be able to just detect it that way. Some people sometimes say, I've been getting headaches, is that radon? No, that isn't radon.
Okay.
It's really not something you can detect through your senses.
Okay, and so from what I understand, Colorado has fairly high levels of radon in the ground, is that right?
That is. Colorado is considered a Zone 1 place, and there's radon really all over the country, but Colorado, as being Zone 1, it means that they found in nearly 50% of homes that the radon level is elevated. Which is also what we found. We've been doing testing for a couple of years now. We've found in that same range where about our median radon level in the county here is about 5 picocuries per liter, and EPA classifies elevated as above 4.
Okay, so 4 picocuries per liter is really what the EPA says is a level that you don't need to worry about for the most part, or?
Not exactly, because radon is a carcinogen, so there's no safe level of any carcinogen.
Okay.
So 4 is the level where they say you should take action. So it's considered an action level where you would want to remove the radon from the home. All
right, and we're talking roughly half the homes in Summit County
exactly
have levels in that zone.
Yeah, our average in the county is 10 picocuries per liter, so
oh, wow.
Quite high, but our median is at 5. So that sort of gives you the range where we're seeing it. We've been seeing everything from non-detectable in some homes all the way up to, we had a house with 222 picocuries per liter.
Wow.
So it's a really big range, and that's why we just say there's no way to know. You don't know by just living in your home whether you have it. Mm-hmm. Every house should be tested. Okay,
and then so you say that it is everywhere, so whether we're outdoors or indoors, what makes it a concern indoors?
Sure, so 0.4 is the average level in an outdoor space, so it's pretty low, 0.4 picocuries per liter. The average indoors is considered 1.3. That's what they're saying nationwide, what they've been finding.
Okay.
So when you're getting levels at 4 and above, it is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S., the number 1 leading cause of lung cancer for non-smokers. So it's a big deal. They estimate about 21,000 people per year die from radon-related lung cancer.
Wow.
So it's a pretty serious thing to take into consideration, especially if you have young kids, or if you're a smoker, because the effects are compounding.
I see. And how does it actually get into a building or house in particular, I guess?
Sure. So there's no way to test an empty lot and find out if it has radon. You have to wait till there's actually a house there. So you would once you build a house, it sort of acts as a vacuum. It usually gets in through cracks in the foundation, and the house acts as a vacuum, and especially now with all the energy efficient homes with really tight seals and good windows, it makes the radon problem actually a little bit worse because you're trapping that inside your home.
Okay, and how would someone find out whether they have a problem? How do you test for
Sure.
radon?
So the exciting thing is that at Environmental Health Office, we actually have free radon test kits. I actually brought one of them here to show you. They're not too scary. They're just these little things, and basically they're just a little envelope with charcoal inside. I don't know if you can see that. You're going to hang it in the lowest living level of a home and at about breathing level, and you'll hang it for 3 to 7 days. This just increases airflow right there. And you would send it off. We actually have paid postage already, so you just drop it in the mail and you'll get your results in about a week. And it's sort of a snapshot in time. So, if you were to measure your radon level over a year, you would have all sorts of readings, and you would really want to take an average.
Okay.
This is going to give you a snapshot in time, but this is a really great time of year to do those tests because January, you generally, here in Summit County, have your windows and doors closed.
Right.
You're not leaving your windows open for the most part, and that's how you want to do a short-term test, because you want to get a worst-case scenario when you're doing such a short test. So you would want to keep closed door and window conditions during that testing.
So when it's the coldest and we are keeping our doors and windows closed the most, that's when you're going to see that worst case scenario.
It's going to be the easiest, time to test. And basically, you may come back with a really low level, and it's sort of reassuring. You don't have to worry about it too much. And then if you're getting in the mid-range with that 4 to 6 picocuries, you may want to do one of those longer-term tests where you're measuring from 3 until 12 months, so a much longer range, which will give you a really accurate depiction of what your actual exposure is.
All right. And how long did you say for these? How long would they?
3 to 7 days.
Okay. So it's really a pretty easy process. It's a little tiny kit.
Exactly.
And it's free, and the postage
can't beat
is
the
free.
price, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. And so what are some of the remediation options if you do find that your levels are pretty high?
Sure. So the state actually has a whole list of certified radon mitigation providers. You would certainly want to use someone who's certified because you want the quality to be good. You don't want to spend a lot of money and then not have a good system in your home.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of shoddy systems go up around the county. And we'd be happy also to just discuss it with people if they're wondering what type of things they would need to do. Generally, if you're in a crawl space, you're going to be putting down some sort of plastic covering on that crawl space and sealing it up, and then the ventilation is the big key. So you put a fan and vent it outdoors. So the fan is actually outdoors, and you vent it above your roof line so that it's getting pushed away from your house, not getting sucked right back into your windows.
And so there are some practical solutions that
it's a really
aren't
easy
gonna
fix.
Totally blow your budget or anything.
Exactly.
Like
It's
that.
pretty typical with other home repairs. It's in the $1,000 to $2,000 range generally to do that, depending on the size of the home and what's going on. Another exciting thing is that all new homes are now required at least to put in passive radon mitigation systems. So any new home being built today in Summit County is going to at least have that, and that generally will reduce that radon by 50% just by having a passive system, no fan required. So it's something you barely would ever notice on a house. So certainly for new homes, that's a really exciting development that's happened in the last year.
Fantastic. And so how do folks go about getting in touch with you if they have questions or getting their hands on one of these kits?
So we are in the County Commons building in Frisco. We are at 37 Peak One Drive in Frisco, and you can stop by anytime 8 to 5 and pick one up. Both the short-term and long-term ones we have there for free. If you have questions, feel free to call us. Our phone number is 970-668-4070, and we'd be happy to discuss it further with you.
All right. Anything else you would want to add about radon or figuring out if it's a problem in your home?
I just would recommend every home get tested. It's really an easy fix, and it's really important for your families.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Maya. And be sure, everybody, if you haven't tested your home for radon, get in touch with Maya and get one of these free kits. We're going to take a quick break, but stick with us. We will be back to talk about a seedling tree program with CSU Extension.